Hello everyone, my name is Ouyang Zhi. Today my topic is business portfolio analysis and mainly talk about the BCG model. Business portfolio analysis is a method of categorizing a firm's products according to their relative competitive position and business growth rate in order to lay the foundations for sound strategic planning. The Boston Consulting Group (BCG), a nationally known management consulting firm, uses business portfolio analysis to quantify performance measures and growth targets to analyze its clients' strategic business units (SBUs), as though they were a collection of separate investments. The purpose of the tool is to determine the appeal of each SBU or offering and then determine the amount of cash, if any, it should receive. The BCG analysis can also be applied at the offering, product, or brand level. More than 75% of the largest US firms have used this analytical tool. The BCG business portfolio analysis requires an organization to locate the position of each of its SBUs on a growth share matrix. The vertical axis is the market growth rate, which is the annual rate of growth of the SBU's industry. The horizon axis is the relative market share, defined as the sales of the SBU divided by the sales of the largest firm in the industry. A relative market share of 10 times at the left end of the scale means that the SBU has 10 times the share of its largest competitor, whereas a share of 0.1 times at the right end of the scale means it has only 10% of the share of its largest competitor. The BCG has given specific names and descriptions to the four resulting quadrants in its growth share matrix, based on the amount of cash they generate for or require from the organization. In this sentence, it means there are four different strategic perspectives. There are cash cows, stars, question marks, and dogs. In the following, I will introduce them separately. The first one is the cash cows. Cash cows are SBUs that generate large amounts of cash, far more than they can invest profitably in themselves. They have dominant shares of stock market and provide cash to cover the organization's overhead and to invest in other SBUs. The second one is stars. Stars are SBUs with high share of high growth markets that may need extra cash to finance their own rapid future growth. When their growth slows, they are likely to become cash cows. Next one is question marks, which are SBUs with a low share of high growth markets. They require large injections of cash just to maintain their market share, much less increase it. The name implies management's dilemma for its SBUs, choosing the right ones to invest in and phasing out the rest. The last one is dogs. Dogs are SBUs with low share of slow growth markets. Although they may generate enough cash to sustain themselves, they do not hold the promise of ever becoming real winners for organization. Dropping SBUs that are dogs may be required, except when relationships with other SBUs, competitive considerations, or potential strategic alliances exist. An organization's SBUs often start as question marks and go counterclockwise around to become stars, then cash cows, and finally dogs. Because an organization has limited influence on the market growth rate, its main alternative is to try to change its relative market share. To accomplish this, management decides what role each SBU should have in the future and either injects or removes cash from it. The primary strength of business portfolio analysis lies in forcing a firm to place each of its SBUs in the growth share matrix, which in turn suggests which SBUs will be each producers and cash users in the future. Two weaknesses of this analysis arise from the difficulty in getting the needed information and incorporating competitive data into business portfolio analysis. There are three paths to success. Company continuously generate cash cows and use the cash thrown up by the cash cow to invest in the question marks that are not self-sustaining. 2. Stars need a lot of reinvestment, and as the market matures, stars will degenerate into cash cows, and the process will be repeated. As for dogs, segments the market and nurse the dog to health or manage for cash. There are also three paths to failure. Companies overinvest in cash cows and underinvest in question marks. Companies trade further opportunities for present cash flow. Managers allow competitors to gain share in a high growth market. That's all. Thank you for listening to my presentation.